Well, there was a monumental lack of communication in those days, both going in 1990, remarkably clandestine operation without any consultation with our partners. And then, of course, as Jim was saying, the whole scramble on the day itself was absolutely awful. There was no communication between us and the Germans and the French. And, of course, the idea that the Germans were going to help out was ludicrous because basically, it was all tied up with German unification, where the British had monumentally upset Chancellor Kohl. Mrs. Thatcher had done that. John Major totally overestimated his own leverage over Helmut Kohl. He wrote a number of letters to Kohl in the build-up in August and in September. Kohl threw away the first two letters, and the third one, when it came, just actually caused the Bundesbank and the German government to unite forces against us. Also, the Treasury didn't realise that actually, or some people in the Treasury, shall we say, didn't realise you had to put up interest rates of about 2,000% to actually protect sterling against the idea that we might fall 6% the next day. So the idea of just putting up by 5 percentage points, which is a monumental amount, you know, for people like you, Steve, with two mortgages at the time. But it wasn't enough. It was all destined to failure. So it was all a comedy of errors. And of course, we do think, you know, coming back to your point, Jeff, that there are similarities now with today, because again, one side doesn't really know what the other side is doing, and all sorts of theatricalities are taking place between us in London and Brussels and Berlin and Paris. And it's not all that different, I'm afraid to say, than what we had in 1992.
There was, though, I believe, a subsequent apology from the Bundesbank over the way it behaved during that period.
Well, I know Helmut Schlesinger quite well, and he's now 92 years old, and of course he has now become somewhat mild in his old age. In fact, I saw him this week, and he has actually said he apologises for his role in this, because he didn't actually mean to knock sterling quite the way he did. It came out in an interview with the Wall Street Journal and the Handelsblatt on the Tuesday before Black Wednesday, and the whole story is incredibly complicated why he did it. But in fact, it wasn't a deliberate attack on sterling. It was just a cock-up, basically.